Hello, guys, and welcome to Odds on Ligue 1 match day 20th after Coupe de France. Alain, we are back to analyze this Ligue 1, and we left it with another defeat of PSG against Rennes. Again, you were spot on that defeat. How are you, Alain?
Yes, hello, Edu. Yes, yes, we are back after the Coupe de France weekend, and of course, PSG must to have a reaction because Lens and Marseille are made points, and now it's forbidden for Paris Saint-Germain still losing points.
Only 3 points ahead from Lens. So let's analyze this match day. Guys, remember, leave your comments, your tips for these games. And of course, if you enjoy our videos, don't forget, press the like and subscribe so we keep growing. Alain, let's try to make some money on the first game we have is on Friday. This is a good one. Lorient Rennes. We have Rennes out of the Coupe de France. Their last league game, as I was saying at the beginning of the video, in the intro, was a victory at home against PSG. You were spot on, actually. You were tipping for Rennes because they are very strong when they are playing in Rousan Park, but when they play away, they have more problems. They lost to Clermont, they lost to Reims, and now they go to Lorient, a team that is not in good form. Only one victory in the last 9 games.
Yes, it was the big surprise about the first part of the season. It's true, in the last weeks, the team start to give us some feeling about his potential. The problem is the market, because they sold Ouattara to Bournemouth. Tarek Murphy, his most prolific striker, is really near to be sold in Olympique de Marseille. That one for Lorient can be really hard to find a solution with his 2 players who was the best in his role in the Ligue 1. Now Rennes still with the same problem. 𝐜𝐭𝐴𝐳𝐲 said we have a problem when we play away. We must to improve. We saw that in Marseille and in Clermont, a team. It is difficult to find a meaning about that, because the weeks before they won against Paris Saint-Germain with really good feeling in a context of game where normally Rennes are uncomfortable without the ball, and they defend really well against Paris Saint-Germain. They made a clean sheet against the team of Paris in France. Really low club, can be said that. But the week after, they go to Marseille, they lose 1-0. The score is okay, but the feeling are bad because team need more aggressivity, more determination when they play outside. I think for that game, they will be found back that determination, that aggressiveness, because it's a derby, and Rennes must win to follow the rhythm about Olympique de Marseille and Lens. And I choose Stade Rennais winning. The odds are really interesting. Odds 2.
Well, Rennes to win, as you said, odds are 2. If you remember, Alain, actually, Rennes, they've only lost 1 game at home this season in Rousan Park, and was against Lorient.
Yes, it was the first game on the season. It was the first game in the season. Remember, but in the context of the game, you watch the game, and Vogo, the goalkeeper, actually injured in Lorient, made 7 or 8 really good saves.
Indeed, back in August. Well, one team that was able to defeat PSG. The other one was Lens, traveling now to Troyes. They are also in really bad form. Only one victory in the last 11 games. The last game was a harsh defeat. 5-1 against Lille, and the opposite we can say about Lens. Perhaps they even can think or dream about winning the Ligue 1, only 3 points away from PSG.
Yes, Lens is in a really good moment. In Coupe de France, they won easy in Brest. Franck has made a turnover for that game. Yes, it's the classical team where in one season all the things going well. And that one there must to follow with that energy, with that passion, with the fans, classical in Lens, but the team now seeing Thomasson to have more solution in the offensive part, and it's a very good moment now. Troyes changed the manager. The new manager have a lot of difficulties because yes, he won in Strasbourg, but Strasbourg was in a very, very, very bad moment. But after 3 games, 3 defeats, and especially in the offensive phase, they have problem. At the beginning of the season, remember, Troyes was the club with the best team to score was in every journey during 10, 12 journey, and after the World Cup, you watch Troyes with a lot of problem to score. Five games since the World Cup is back. Only 2 games. They're scoring only 2 games and 3 games without score. And against Lens, it can be a big limit. I choose Lens winning for that game, the difference and the feeling, the moment about both teams. Lens is really favorite, odds 1.72.
Lens to win, and the third in the standings after Lens, we have Olympique Marseille. This is a crucial game, best game in this match day. Marseille Monaco, important for the Champions League spots, of course. Monaco, they are 5 points away from Marseille, and both are coming from good victories for Marseille. Also ahead in the Coupe de France, they won the last 6 games in Ligue 1, including the last victory against Lorient. And Monaco was able to score 7 against Ajaccio, and we have to remember, Alain, that this Monaco, they are good when they are playing away this season, only 1 defeat away from the Ligue.
Yes, when they play away, is a team with a lot of powder. They made the same number of points of Marseille. Both teams are really strong away, and they have 1 game less than the leader, Paris Saint-Germain. Now, it's a revenge. It's a big revenge because the game in Monaco, Marseille won in the last minutes 3-2, and it was really hot that game. And in Monaco, they remember that. They remember that. In Marseille, we must know now if 𝐜𝐴𝐧𝐧𝐬𝐿 stay in Marseille, because is a player can change the balance in a lot of sense. 𝐜𝐴𝐧𝐬𝐿, and normally this week he will be seen for Aston Villa. And that one for Marseille, in my opinion, is a risk to sell the 𝐜𝐴𝐧𝐬𝐿 right now. Wait at the end of the season, because 𝐜𝐴𝐧𝐬𝐿 is a key player in this team. We saw that again against Stade Rennais. Monaco, from the beginning of the season, we don't know who is Monaco. The team able to catch a draw in Paris. The team can be second in the away classification about the Ligue 1, or the team can go out against Rodez in Coupe de France, lose against Troyes at home. I think Monaco must to found quickly the maturity in the management of the game, because Monaco have a lot of talent in his roster, and if they found that Monaco is a team can go back to Champions League without doubt, but that regularity and that management in the game, they must to show that from Saturday in Marseille is a key game, because they have 5 points less Marseille. If they lose that game, it's 8 points, and it start to be a difference difficult to recover. I choose for that game always. Marseille Monaco is always a special game for the South, and the rivalry about the 90s especially. I think Monaco can't doesn't be lose that game. I choose X2 odds 1.70.
All right, double chance for Monaco. This is a key game for the Champions League spots. Monaco, they want to find an identity, as you were saying. I guess the same can be applied for Nice. Next game is Nice-Lille, because we have Nice in the middle of the table. They drew 0-0 goalless draw against Reims, only one victory in the last 5 games. We've learned that 𝐿-𝐵𝐻𝐵𝐻𝐵 from Sevilla and the striker of Morocco in the World Cup is on his way to the 𝐿𝐵𝐻𝐴𝐶, and they have a tough game, of course, Alain, against Lille, a team that they have an identity. And we see also Jonathan David again scoring. He scored a brace against 𝐿𝐴, 12 goals already for the Canadian.
Yes, now Nice since Favre was sacked off, Nice start to play. We saw that against Montpellier, victory 6-1, a really good draw in Reims against one of the team in the best form actually in Ligue 1. Is another test. Needs Lille permit you to play. Maybe Lille can be suffer. The way and the model of play of Nice is really direct. Is a team with a lot of powder to attack the space with velocity, and now Lille will be suffer, in my opinion. In Nice, it's true, Lille is really strong in defensive phase. When they play away, they concede really less goal, only 8 goals received in 9 games. But that one, I think that the grade of difficulty of the game increased respect to the last game they played away. I think Nice have a big potential during the summer. The Mercato, I think they have they're signing player really interesting, a lot of young player, but Favre doesn't found the key to manage that squad. Ligard is in a good way. There doesn't play in Coupe de France. 1 week more to working. I think we can take the risk about victory. Nice 𝐿𝐴𝐶 odds are really high, 2.20.
Indeed, because Lille, they are favorites to win away, even if, as we know, away they struggle more. Let's focus a little bit, Alain, in the relegation battle for the next 4 games. The first one is Auxerre Montpellier, but strikes for both teams. Auxerre, penultimate now in the standings, 5 consecutive defeats. Montpellier, 2 points above relegation, 3 consecutive defeats in their case, and the bookies place Auxerre as favorite, surprisingly, perhaps.
I am not surprised. Because I think Montpellier is in a trouble. Is in a serious trouble. We saw the last games, the last 2 games in Ligue 1 was really bad. Their lose against Nantes really badly, 0-3 at home. They lose 6-1 in Montpellier. They go out the Coupe de France against a team, the Ligue 2 team. it was difficult, but remember, I said you from the beginning of the season when Montpellier was winning at home, I said you warning because Montpellier is really young team, and there will be suffer a lot to save the category this season if there doesn't move more in the market. And right now there doesn't move a lot. Auxerre is true, they lose the game against Toulouse in the worst form possible at home when they lose 5-0. But after I saw a reaction, especially in Lens, Pellissier changed the system. Pellissier started to play with a 3 center fullback with a more hermetic defense, and Lens suffered to win that game. They won 1-0 with a penalty, but in the content of the game, they don't create a lot. And that one, I think, was the key for Pellissier to found that balance in defensive phase to be competitive in Ligue 1, in a team really academic, but in Ligue 1, when you are really academic, you will be super. And is a little the problem about Auxerre. In Coupe de France, they manage really well the game. And in my opinion, they are favorites. When I checked the odds, I choose the same odds about the last tips. 1𝐿𝐴 𝐻𝐿𝐵 1.82.
All right, another draw no bet or Asian handicap 0. So if there is a draw, you get your money back. If Auxerre win the game, you win your money. In this case, 1.8. Next game, also relegation battle. Brest, Angers. Angers going straight away to Ligue 2. Defeat against Clermont. 11 consecutive defeats for Angers, and Brest also in relegation spots. They drew recently against Toulouse and Lille. They are more alive. They are actually only 1 point. No, they have the same points as Strasbourg. So if they get a victory here, they will be out of the relegation spots.
It's the most scary game about the weekend. We have Brest, really poor balance at home, only 7 points in 9 games in his stadium, and we have the worst team away, like Angers, only 4 points for Angers away. Since the beginning about the Ligue 1, we saw Angers interesting, especially the game in Ajaccio, when they made something more to catch point this day. But we saw that against the Clermont, the team are not well in the management of the key moment, and that one is one of the biggest limits about Angers this season. They suffer a lot to win against Strasbourg, 𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐿𝐵, the amateur club, 2-1 in Coupe de France. Brest, maybe we saw an improvement since the change in the management, especially against Lille, against Toulouse. Team will be back a strong team when they defend, but against Lens, we saw the limit. With a team with offensive powder, with a really physical team, they suffer, and I think the recovery is not complete about Brest. It is a game scary. It is a really scary game. And normally the scary game finish in draw. I choose the draw. X odds 3.60.
Indeed, normally a scary game is a goalless draw. In your opinion, this is a draw. Brest, Angers, much more calm for sure. We have the supporters of Clermont. Next game is Clermont-Nantes because they are doing a great season. They are in the comfortable 8th spot in the standings, 3 consecutive victories for Clermont, Angers, and before Rennes and Lyon. So great names they've beaten in this 2023. And also Nantes A team, Alain, that you've been saying in the previous weeks that they were gonna grow after leaving the European tournaments, and they were able to beat Montpellier, and that was a great victory, 3-0 away. Right now they are 6 points away from relegation.
Yes, and 5 consecutive clean sheets. Nantes is the team about last season. They suffered 3 months after the European competition finished. We saw again this Nantes. And they are moved with interesting moving in the transfer market. Clermont is in a very good form. They finally won 2 games consecutive, but because Clermont suffered a little at home, but was with a strong powder away. And now they won a game in 𝐬𝐭𝐴𝐳, and it's 2 games consecutive. They're one important for Clermont. I think Nantes is the type of team Clermont suffer a lot. And Nantes is at that capacity to wait his moment, because they have a really strong defensive phase. And after when they attack, they start to find the goal, because it was one of the biggest problem from the beginning of the season, was the team was really poor in finalization his action. And I think that unlock the player, and the team is run really well. For that game, I don't see Nantes losing in Clermont. I choose the X2 double chance 1.68.
All right, double chance for Nantes. Also in the relegation battle, we have Strasbourg, Toulouse, especially for Strasbourg. They are out of the relegation spots thanks to that victory in Lyon, but at home, no victories yet this season. Remember, 6 points. They are facing a newly promoted team as Toulouse, that they are doing great in the middle of the table, ahead in the Coupe de France. The last away game was a 5-0 victory in Auxerre. All is good in the rugby city of Toulouse.
Yes, Strasbourg. The problem was the relationship between Vespery and the manager, because when they sacked Stefan, the team is the same team about last season. They are working really well in the market. With Sanson and Gilbert will be back to Ligue 1. Sobol, the center defender, about Bruges signing too. I think Strasbourg. The problem in Strasbourg was reward. I don't see Strasbourg don't save the category. They suffer 4 months. They have that capacity to go out about this bad moment. They have squad to save the category, but they must to start winning at home. Now Toulouse away suffer a lot. It's true they won 5-0 in Auxerre, but between that it was the worst team in Ligue 1 with only 4 points, like 𝐬𝐭𝐴𝐳 and Auxerre when they played away. And I think Toulouse in the last season, the last journey, lose rhythm, and he was one of the key of his brilliant beginning of the season, and that special energy about the promotion disappeared. Now I am curious to watch like how Montpellier will be managed that, because if you made 5 months really bad, you have the risk to play against relegation. I remember 4 teams go to the Ligue 2 this season in France. For that game, I see Strasbourg winning at home. Finally, there will be one win a game. Odds are so interesting. Odds 2.20 for Strasbourg winning.
Let's see, a team that historically they are very good when they play in Alsace. This year they have difficulties. In your opinion, this is the day where Strasbourg is gonna win the first game at home. We have two more games. Ajaccio, Lyon is the next one. Lyon in crisis, always in crisis. Only 1 point in the last 3 games in Ligue 1, losing easy games in theory when they are playing at home. Ajaccio in relegation spots. They are coming from getting 7 in Monaco.
Yes, Ajaccio is the worst moment for Ajaccio in the season, because they start to lose his solidity without the possession of ball, and he was the strong quality about the team. Now Lyon is not in a beagle, but is in a trouble, because the effect Laurent Blanc, maybe we saw something, especially when they played away, because with Peter Bosz there was enabled to win a game away. He won Montpellier, made a good game in Nantes, but at home he suffered a lot, losing against Strasbourg, losing against Clermont. That type of game, if you are not able to win that game, you don't go back to Europe. Lyon must to change the mentality, the change the way, and the change especially the average of point right now. And there will be start from Saturday. The occasion is good, because I think the opportunity to win in Ajaccio is really possible, because if you check the classification and you check the difference with the European spot, you know, are 12 pool, the 12 point is a lot, but there can be fight about Europe, and there must to start to win that game in Ajaccio. I see Lyon winning in Ajaccio, odds 1.85.
They are closer to the relegation spots, actually. 10 points from relegation, 12 points from Europe, only 2 victories away. This Olympique Lyon, they have to improve, and the last game in this match day is PSG Reims. We saw Mbappé playing in Coupe de France and scoring 5. We usually don't see him against teams, I think it was 6th tier division, the opponent of PSG in the Coupe de France. But as we mentioned at the beginning of the video, Alain in Ligue 1, after losing the last 2 away games, of course, they have to keep an eye on the domestic competition, and Reims, they are in very good form. Remember, they are unbeaten in the last 11 games.
Really serious game with a defensive phase, really strong. In my opinion, in collective analysis about the no possession ball in the game, is one of the team have the best movement right now in Ligue 1. Maybe there miss something in the finalization. There depends so much about Balogun, the player on loan from Chelsea. But when Balogun is on fire, we saw Reims in a very good game. I think in the last 15 games, 14 games, they lose only 1 against Nantes. And that one, I think, mean Reims is serious. Reims start to found his management of the game, because from the beginning of the season, at the beginning they suffer a lot, and Oscar Garcia was sacked. And I said Reims has more game than points, and that one, after Oscar Garcia era, we saw the problem was not maybe Oscar Garcia, because he's now the manager is his assistant, but maybe something the team was a little unlucky from the beginning of the season. Now Paris Saint-Germain, we every week we said the same things. What will be the grade of motivation? Both teams to score is possible, because one of the odds more interesting for the game of Paris Saint-Germain is the both team to score. Now, about the grade of motivation, there must to be motivated because they lose and lost. They lose and Rennes. PSG always said Ligue 1 is not the best league to prepare the champions. But if Ligue 1 is not the best league to prepare the champions, in 1 month you will be found the Bayern.
Exactly.
And that one Galtier must to found his team, his 11th start for that game, because Bayern doesn't wait for you. For that game against Reims, normally the over 3.5 is less frequently. I choose the under 3.5 goals, odds 1.72.
All right, not a goal feast, in your opinion, to end this 20th match day in the capital, in the Parc des Princes, PSG. Reims, Alain, after all this great analysis of the French football, tell me, which one is your favorite bet?
Strasbourg, Toulouse, over 1.5, odds 1.29.
Okay, and let's try an ACCA for this weekend.
Rennes winning, Nantes X2 double chance, Strasbourg winning, Lyon winning for a total 12.86.
And vicious indeed. Sometimes if you want to be, for instance, a little bit more cautious, guys, you can change your to win for an Asian handicap 0, draw no bet, and you get an insurance in case there is a draw, in case you want to be more cautious, or if you want to risk more, of course, these very good odds around 13.0 for Alain Saka. Alain, always a pleasure. Thanks. And guys, don't forget to press the like and subscribe. See you next week. Bye-bye.